Good job, everybody. Good job. Another week down. Round of applause to you. Round of applause to me. Round of applause to us all because we made it through another week. Another crazy week. It's been big. First week of school for me. Ooh, oh, God. I have some stories, but I ain't going to bore you with them because I've already been bored by them myself. But what I am going to tell you guys is what's sold throughout this whole week. We have a whole week of sales, and we also have a whole week of hauls. We're going to break them down in this video. At the very end of the video, I'm going to give you a little channel update, what we're going to do in the future. But I won't bore you with that. We're going to go into what's sold first. So as I mentioned, I'm trying to branch into figures, right? And I showed this one off, and I was like, hey, no one has sold this one. Well, I ended up getting an offer for $10 for it. I had it out there for $15, I believe. And I was like, oh, shoot, all right. So I sold it for $10 plus about $6 shipping. That's all right. And this is like my first figure outside of the Pokemon lot that I did. And I'd say it's doing all right. So I'm still going down the figure expanse, if I will. Just going for the ones I know, like, oh, I know this show, it was kind of popular. You know, those old, early 2000s, the 90s, the millennial toys, all right? But it's not all millennial stuff. Some of it's older, actually. So, again, the older stuff can help, too. If you have something that you know, all right, and you see it out there, and you're like, that has collectible value, no way it doesn't, try for it. Look it up, see how it goes, you know? It turned out for me. I had $10 I didn't have the other day. $10 I didn't have the other day. You can't complain about that. Complete works of O. Henry. I'm sure we've all heard his poetry somewhere on the street corner before. But in case you haven't, it goes for about $14 on eBay. So I accepted an offer, free shipping. I had this forever. I kind of wanted to get it out. Wanted to get the ball rolling, get the sales going. Always an interesting story about this one. This is one of those ones where someone bought it and they're shipping it out to someone else. People get iffy about this, like, oh, do I want to sell this person? Oh, what do I do? Is this just an extra hassle? It's not really that much of extra hassle. All you have to do is you get the tracking number, which is just really given to you, and you copy paste that into a message to them. You send it to them. Here's your tracking information. They basically leave you alone after that. Don't fret about, accepting offers like this or dealing with people like that. They're perfectly fine. It's just that extra step of sending a tracking number. And if you're okay with that extra step, then go for it. This is another one I've had forever. I remember picking this up. Oh my God, it was definitely a year ago. It was one of those ones I was like, do I want to pick this up? It hasn't sold yet. And now it's finally sold for $10 free shipping. It was a paperback, so it was probably 50 cents. Typically, I pay like 50 cents for paperbacks, $1 for hardcover, $1 for CDs or DVDs. And then for figures, it's been pretty random. Like my Pokemons were like $3 for the boxes, and that's definitely not typical. So I would say normally it's like a quarter. For this one here, someone read the fine print and was like, hey, you gotta test all these for me? I was like, of course. Every time in my descriptions, I always make sure I say this. Condition is good. Discs have not been tested, but can be upon request. These may have some wear and tear, and the disc within could have scratches, sold as is. This is something I offer on all my CD, DVD listings, and anything that I can actually test. I have a bunch of game consoles over here, so when I sell games, I offer this. Because I think if this is what's going to drive the person to actually buy the item, it's going to actually complete the sale, I will do it. If someone is on the fence about that, I'll put in the extra little effort. I'll put it out there. I'll like, yep, all right, I'll do that for you. And I tested the 7. They all worked. They didn't look like they had too bad of scratching. So I said, all right, you're golden. And he paid the same day. A little Edgar Allan Poe, definitely probably more well-known than O. Henry, I would say. This one went for $15. Nothing really special here. I mean, the artwork looks cool. I'll give you that. I mean, if you see cool artwork, guys, cool artwork always sells. That's not true. You'll see the coolest looking book and it won't sell for much. But this definitely kind of stands out as like oh, hey, look at that. And I always mention this, but I always want to bring it up. If you have no barcode on the back, no scannables, that means it's probably worth looking at. It's a pretty good giveaway that your book might be old and might be valuable. Again, probably just $1 into this book. This one was in a video a few weeks ago. This was just one of those, it was from the Goodwill, and I paid, I forget, it was some cheap amount because it was a color day. It's probably about $1. So yeah, $1 into 10. I always say this is about standard. This is what you want. Typically we want shipping, but sometimes it doesn't go that way. And if it doesn't go that way, that is how it is. This was also in a video from the other week. This took an offer on it for $7. This is like a quarter item, so I didn't mind. Also, it had some very bad casework. Typically with these jewel cases, sometimes the most common wear and tear on them is always check if they come separated at this juncture right here, because it always happens. It's super typical. And you just want to make sure you document that and you show it clearly in the pictures. If it happens, guys, I mean, sometimes it's just a quarter. You got to write it off in your mind. Oh, it's just a quarter, all right? So a quarter into $7. That's not bad, all right? It's not amazing, but it's what I was saying in the video last week. Are the $5 flips worth it? I think they are. They get stuff moving. Speaking of stuff moving, this went as well. Another $10. This is a paperback. I got this forever ago. Can't even remember where or when I got it, but like I said, 50 cents to 25 cents for the paperbacks. This is pretty good. Whenever I do pictures, I normally do a front cover. I do a middle cover. I shouldn't say middle cover, but normally I choose right where the copyright and the editions are, because some people are really into the book for just that. And it backs up sometimes what I put in the title. I'll say, oh, 1977. And here it'll say 1977. And then I have the back. That's normally what I do. So it's normally 3 pictures. A boom, a bang, and a bong. But in the case that there is some noticeable blemishes, I'll point those out in a specific image as well. These I remember I got in a stuffer bag, so this is very good. This is one of those things where sometimes you're like, oh shoot, there's really nothing in the store. Well, if you get creative, you're like, oh, what do I do? Well, I look for like items, so anything that can go together. So we have a lot of Mozart, Bach. We got some Beethoven, probably, right? Vivaldi. No, Beethoven is on the Hooked on Classics because there's a bunch of different artists on that. So yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, what do I do? I'm in a thrift store. There's nothing here. I don't want to waste my time, right? Can't walk away with nothing. What am I going to put on a video? No. But it was a bag sale, so I kind of put it in. I was like, oh, I have extra room in my bag. Bang. We'll put in these CDs. They're all alike. I'll lot them up. And I took an offer, $12, free shipping. This is another one I've had for the longest time. $1 in and $20 out. That's pretty good. Under the Net, Iris Murdoch. Like I said, it has all the telltale signs. Looks old. Kind of has a cool design if you can look there. Oh, that does look pretty cool when you scroll in on it. We have actually a side view. I probably did the side view because of the blemishing here, but also sometimes the side view looks very nice. And right there, I have the 1954, but this one's the 1955, as stated in the title. This was definitely in a video recently. I remember sticking this in. I remember it was on the video that it said, "Are the $5 flips worth it?" There it is, $4.90 plus $3.82 shipping. Was it worth it? Well, for this quick a flip, I would say it was. There it is, the butterfly effect, new and sealed. Now, guys, you don't have to do this. I know I don't want to, put all this. This looks kind of cringe, but new and sealed star or rare star is something I'll do. If your item has a unique characteristic, say it, all right? Because everyone's going to look up the butterfly effect. Oh, the butterfly effect collection DVD, all right? Everyone's going to see that. So they're going to get your listing. But if you put something that's unique to yours at the very front and make it obvious, capitalize, put anything there, you have definitely a way more higher chance that you're going to sell it or at least get people interested in it. With the figure that I showed you earlier, the Codename Kid Next Door, I had rare star on it because there was nothing else on eBay that looked like it. So it really just draws people in. It's like, oh, hey, look at that. That's something that I wasn't really looking for, but he says it's rare. This is one, this next one here is the biggest one. This one's huge, all right? So I was out thrifting this week. So this is also part of my thrift haul, but it's also part of what's sold because it's already sold. We have All Aboard for Wonderland. So there was a listing out there for $100. So I swooped in and I said, all right, well, I'll do $60 plus $4 shipping. And so that's sold today. I actually have it right here. It sold actually pretty late in the afternoon. Post office was closed. So we have this book here, very fragile. I want to be careful with it because this is a big item. Person asked, hey, does it have any of the color pictures? I think they said color plates. So if someone says color plates, all they mean are actually painted images within the book. I said, oh, sure. What pages are those on? So I make sure I'm looking at the right thing. They said, all right, page 18, 78, and 118. Checked, sent them the images. They were like, oh, that's great. Yeah, so I listed this literally yesterday, and it's already sold for $60. And yeah, it had never sold before. The only one out there was for $100. So I was like, all right, I'll go in, I'll undercut, I'll go to 60. I think that's fair. It turns out that was more than fair. Someone came in literally the next day and paid the $60 for it. So you, as I always say, you cannot complain. That's the $1 to 60 right there, guys. It's not normal, but it's definitely ideal. I'll give you that. To get it out of the way again, yep, this was part of this week's thrift haul. But this one was actually pretty cool. This was a lot of for America 2024. There wasn't any like out there listed, but these two had sold. So the bottom one that's sold for $5 plus $5 shipping was book 1 and 4. So that's not even in order, and that's 5 plus 5 shipping. So that's pretty good. Keep in mind, these were, I believe these were actually 50 cents each, because I think they charge a little more at this place. We have $2 into this, so that one there is a $5 plus $5 shipping. So that's already pretty good. But the one above it is a complete set of 5 that went for 50 on an offer. So we don't know actually what it sold for, but we know it's somewhere probably in the 20s to 30s. So I'm going to list these 4 books. I'm going to probably put them out there for 25 plus shipping and see where they go. Alright guys, this was actually very cool. This was a huge lot of Western paperbacks. So there's a bunch of Westerns in here. I'll bring them out. I'll bring a few out. They all pretty cool. A Killer Rode In. A killer. It does not get more Western than that. Does not get more Western than that. So we have 26 of them here that I've counted. We have lots of 26 going for 35 plus free shipping, or the ones up here was like someone accepted an offer at 50, so we don't know. So it's probably in that $30 to $40 range is what I'm going to guess from these few figures here. So $30 to $40 for all those paperbacks. I believe these were also 50 cents each, so I guess that would be $13 into $30 to $40. That's all right. I would say so. I'm going to charge shipping for it. They did free shipping, so maybe I'll do $33 plus shipping, or maybe $35 plus shipping, because there's that $50 one that sold for on an offer. So we don't know where that fell in that range, but it's that 30 to 40 range, and I'm perfectly fine spending a little money on that. Moving on to some of the cool, rare, old weird books. I found these at the top shelf, had some dust on them, dusted them off. Whoa, look at this. An old art gallery from Washington, D.C. So there was a few out there that weren't actually like this one, and a few had sold for $4 to $5, and there was none like this one, and it's kind of a weird range. There was some that sold for like $100, and obviously that wasn't this one. So I put it out there for 10 plus shipping. Obviously I have best offer out there because of the fact you never really know with these things. So I like letting people have the choice on the matter. I actually have a bunch like these. This is the Story of Old Vermont. It's another one. These were all in a pile. They were just some weird old wacky books, and I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take these. Some weird little paperback. This one had actually sold quite a bit, like 3 or 4 of these, and they sold for like $7 or so, but they're all free shipping. So I did $5.90 plus shipping. I actually found Vermont books at the same thrift store last week, so it's interesting that they got some more, or maybe they just put these out there. That one individually is going pretty well. This one above all of them stuck out the most to me. Actually, a lot of the Library of Congress, like practical guides, some of them were selling like $50 to $30. None with this exact art. The other one out here that kind of looked like this one specifically was going out there for $70. Someone had, so I went in and I put out $28.88. Obviously, best offer on this. The old rare Star, as I recommend always. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's business, it's business. But we're out here. We have this one here. This one's definitely cool. It has some very cool images. If you're an art person, this is probably pretty cool. I'm not a big art guy. I mean, I can look at this and say, oh, it looks nice. Oh, it's not changing my life, all right? I have this one out there, almost $30. We'll see what we actually get for it. But that's just based off of other listings and kind of like the average sell price of similar items. This one had actually had a few sell and around that $5 mark, so I also went for the $5. This one again was obviously part of this little pack of weirdos. This is some very weird, it's like kind of crude, like actual paper. It has some little wear and tear. Actually never really sold anything like these before. These is like some real true paperbacks. Like you say this is a paperback, but you know, this is really a paperback. That's a perfect transition because this is the next item. And it's the 1966 Directory of New Hampshire historical information. Again, I got $15 out there. This is based off of like sale items and like listed items. I try to get in the middle range of that because I don't like being ridiculous, but I also don't want to, sell myself short. These are a little bit risky. I wouldn't say they're like safe because I don't know. Some of these are actually just selling pretty well. But ones like these, it's like, who knows? These are clearly more of a collectible. And I would always say if you have a unique item and you feel like you have the ability, your store's at the point that you can take a risk on these items that they might not sell tomorrow, but they will sell eventually. I would always say do them because it's pretty interesting. You never know really what's going to sell until it sells. Guy you always want to keep an eye out for is Winston Churchill. This guy, most of his books always sell pretty well. This is again pretty cool design, no scannable on the back, and a pretty vintage date, 1965, and we have that right here. And one of my images reflect. We have a front, we have a bing, a middle that shows the 1965. We actually show a little bit of artwork here. I guess I was feeling a little generous. All right, I gave him 4 pictures and the back. This one has some really cool like covering to it. I don't know the material, but I don't know if the camera will capture it, but it looks very nice, and also the page lining looks very cool. This immediately stood out to me because of its unique quality. So I looked it up, and like items were going from anywhere from like around 20, 15 to 30. Some people had it listed out there for 30, but the ones I was selling were around the 15 to 20 mark. So I put that out there for $17. Obviously best offer. Shipping. This one I kind of regret taking, and I don't even want to pick it up here. I'm going to show you why in the images instead of picking it up. It's very loose. It's a cool old book, and it will sell, I think, for the right price. It's obviously diminished the price down to like $10 plus shipping because of the fact of this. The binding on it is really bad, and the pages are just separated. Like these are just, over here are loose pages. Now, I probably should have checked this, but I knew that it was loose, so I didn't want to open it and ruin it anymore. I like being very delicate with these things. But I guess my delicacy didn't really matter because this thing was already pretty destroyed. So it's okay to sell these things. You just really have to note it. You have to show this off. This is not something you can just say, oh, it has some wear and tear. No, this is something you need to specifically say. I'll even show you down here. So I have a massive note. The title says, see description. My massive note, all caps. Note, massive binding damage. Pages are loose. See images above. Sold as is. So if your item is messed up, make sure your buyers know it's messed up. It would be messed up of you to not tell them, okay? Just your pretty standard hardcover at $10 plus shipping. It was some old vintage one. Again, it kind of stuck out to me. I had the person with the, I don't even know what this is. I don't know what this is. It's like maybe a little streamer. I don't want to say it's like a whip, but it's definitely not supposed to be a whip. Definitely a better look at what it is. If you know what it is, let me know. But yeah, this is just a cool little book. Again, stuck out to me. Kind of looked pretty plain. Had the weird golden guy doing the thing. Picked it up. Looked like it was going for about $10 plus shipping. So we'll see where it goes. Last but not least, something we've actually already picked up and shown off in a video already. We just happened to find it again, but a different edition. We have a 1988 edition of my bedtime book of 2-minute stories. We have 2 of them. We have 2 2-minute bedtime book stories. And again, we have the front cover. We have the middle. Oh, the middle. And we have the back. Now, this back actually has a barcode. So, the only reason I actually knew to get this was because, oh, shoot, I already have one of these. I know that it sold pretty well last time, so there's no reason not to get one of those. And that's one of the good things when you're actually going and doing like a specific niche and you're in a category for a long period of time. You get to know these things, or you at least see the patterns, like knowing that, oh, this is a unique book because it kind of looks weird. These are things you pick up on. I bet in any category, I'm already picking it up on the figures. Like, oh, I know this. This is from a TV show. It's pretty popular, but kind of niche TV show. And I knew, oh, I'll pick that up. And bang, it ended up selling. So trying to find those little patterns, those telltale signs that your item is actually worth it is definitely probably one of the most key things when you're outsourcing. For anyone not really interested in the channel update, this is where we part ways. Thank you for tuning in. I hope today's video helped you, and I'll see you next Monday for the video. But for anyone who is actually interested in knowing what changes are coming to the channel, they're very brief. They're very kind of not very important, but I want to put them out there just so you guys know. School's kind of being a lot. I have school 5 days a week, and I have homework on the weekends. It's kind of crazy. And Mondays and Fridays are actually the only days that I have classes, but I don't have homework or anything kind of crazy going on too late in the night. Some classes are going to like 5, 6. I get home at like 6. It's like, oh my god. I never had that in the past semesters. I'm going to reduce the video count, but I'm not going to reduce the substance of the videos. So we're going to have the weekly startups on Monday, which is going to cover what sold over the weekend and what we got over the weekend. And I'm going to do the weekly recap where we go from Monday to Friday, the sales that have happened within that period of time, and also what I got in that period of time. So very similar to what today's video is. I just want to let you guys know that's how the format's going to be until like I go on a long break, like a summer break or something, and I can make more videos daily again for you all. So I hope you all enjoyed today's video. You're a fellow college student, I wish you the best of luck, alright? It's hard out there. We got to do what we got to do. And if you're a fellow reseller, or reseller college student even, praying for you. I'm praying for you. Have my love. You have my love and sympathy and my respect. I ain't gonna waste any more of your time. Go do stuff. Go do some stuff. Go list. Go thrift. Go have some fun. Do some homework. I don't know. That's all up to you. That's what you do with your time. But I'm done wasting your time, alright? It's Man Top Sells. It's been a pleasure. And another amazing week with you guys. Soldier salute and peace.